G'day and welcome back to another episode of Tomo's Engine Building Tech Tips. On this episode, we are going to be talking about the running clearance between the primary gear and the crankshaft. Now, like we discussed on a previous episode, we discussed the thrust clearance that we need for a primary gear. This is one of the many things that's important when rebuilding an engine, especially an A-series engine from Classic Mini or Moke. Now, this is applicable to both A and A+ engines. So essentially what we need to be doing is checking the clearance between this primary gear and the crankshaft. Pretty straightforward. We're going to be measuring the outside diameter of the crankshaft and the inside diameter of the primary gear. Once we've got the two, we're going to deduct the larger measurement from the smaller measurement, and that's what's going to give us our clearance. Now, when you're rebuilding an engine, if you're not using new brass bushes like the one inside here and inside there, it is important to make sure that you check this clearance before reassembly. Failure to do so could result in excessive amount of oil traveling onto the clutch, causing the clutch to slip and engagement issues, or it may not be sufficient enough and it might actually cause too much friction, which then creates heat, which then creates binding, and then you're going to melt the primary gear, you're going to destroy the bushes, you're going to destroy the snout of the crank. It's going to create a lot of engagement issues and further problems. So too tight or too loose, they're going to have potentially a catastrophic effect on not only the drivability, but also the longevity of the engine. So it's important to make sure we get this correct. So let's jump straight into it. First thing we're going to be doing is measuring the outside diameter of the crankshaft. This can be done using a set of micrometers or even verniers. So I'm using simply a set of Tool Pro digital vernier calipers. First thing we want to be doing is making sure it is zeroed. Then we're going to be measuring the snout of the crank. So we want to get it on where it's going to be running, which is going to be around here. And you'll find that the outside of the crank will be tapered, and then as it comes in, it'll then step and then become the same length for the majority of it before it then steps up again and again. So we want to be using the flat surfaces of the verniers, and we want to be finding out roughly where it's going to be happy in terms of the measurement we're taking. So in our case, we're at 38.05 millimeters. Now we need to make sure that we remember that. Next thing we're going to be doing is measuring the inside diameter of the primary gear. All right, so before we go and start measuring this, we need to make sure that we measure the correct part of the primary gear. So we're going to be measuring the front part, which is this hat piece that sits inside here. So that bush inside there. If you measure inside here, it's going to give a different reading on the crankshaft because the crankshaft is tapered at the front and then goes straight and then steps out down to another piece and then it steps out again at the very back of it. So you need to make sure that whichever side you're measuring, whether it be the front or the back of the bush, the front or the back of the primary gear, you need to make sure that you measure correctly on the snout of the crank. So we're just going to use our vernier calipers here. Once again, making sure that they are set to zero. Our original reading, I've got my little cheat sheet here, was 38.05. We're looking for around 2 thou, which should be sort of, I think, 0.05 or 0.06 of a millimeter from memory. Let's have a look. Yeah, okay, so we have now 38.11 to 12. So that's about 0.6 to 0.06 to 0.07 millimeters. So let's just do some quick maths. I've got my little calculator up here. Thousandths of an inch to that. So let's say 0.06 to inch. Okay, so yeah, essentially 2 thou. Maximum sort of maybe like 2.5 thou with the 0.07. And that's essentially the clearance we need for it. So you need to make sure that you measure this at both ends, front and back, and depending on what oil clearance you need at the back, you need to make sure, is it the same as the front? Is it different? What application you're using it for? The tolerances will change. If you're doing sprints, you're doing drag racing, or you're just doing everyday driving, about 2 thou is roughly what you need. If you're doing something different and you're unsure, make sure you contact the guys at www.minisport.com.au. That is how you check the oil clearance between the primary gear and the crankshaft. Super handy, super easy to overlook and forget, not even worry about it. Over time, these bushes do wear. They are brass, so brass will wear at quite a rate of knots compared to something like hardened steel. So it is important to make sure that if you're pulling this apart, do some measurements. If you're unsure, hit them up at Minisport, and if you need to, replace the bushes. I will also quickly note that the original bushes for an 1100 engine, or a 1098 should I say, not all of them are available anymore. You generally need to replace the entire thing if you are unable to get the bushes. I managed to find a set for Grace and I was super lucky that I was able to get these. I did buy it through a friend, so thank you very much, Nath, for helping me out with those. So essentially, if you can't buy this front bush and the rear bush separate, you're gonna be forced to pretty much buy a brand new primary gear. They are worth around sort of $500 to $600, depending what sort of vehicle it is. But the upside is that once you've got it and it's fitted and you've got them reamed to size, which reaming is something you need to send to a machine shop to do. Unless you have the tools and equipment yourself, you're probably best not to attempt it, because if you screw it up, although the bushes are, fairly cheap in comparison, you're probably gonna make a pretty big mistake. So definitely worthwhile investing in the correct parts you need for it to begin with, but also ensuring that the tolerances are all correct. So not only the thrust, but also the oil clearance between the crankshaft and the primary gear. Hope you guys learned something and are enjoying the Tomo's engine building tech tips. These are all just things I've learned along the way, and certainly are practices now that I use for all of my engines. And this sort of thing isn't something you learn overnight. You can't just know all of this to begin with. It's people like yourself out there watching who have helped me become a better mechanic, a better YouTuber, a better husband even in some ways. That is what my channel is all about, is becoming better. Giving you guys the confidence to be able to build and maintain your classic engines, your Mokes, your Minis, anything else to the best of your ability with the confidence in which I can hopefully instill. Anyone out there who has any feedback or tips or info, please leave it in the comment section below. I love hearing from you guys, so long as it's constructive. You guys know that and the reason why. But thanks again for watching. Catch you on the next episode. We'll keep building this thing, and I'll see you on another one.